I'm here with Sean Zittel, boxing journalist. So what was that whole thing, interaction with Dana White at the press conference with Muhammad Ali?
Well, essentially, if I could boil it down, it's boxing looks like it's about to get into this new marriage. Like Dana White, TKO, Turkey Al-Sheikh, they're going to walk this bride called boxing down the aisle. And I'm just trying to be a good father, saying, well, hold on, young man, before you try to marry my daughter, I heard you did this with some of your old girlfriends. I heard you did that with some of your old girlfriends. Are you going to try and do that to my daughter, to my kid? And so, you know, before they walk through the door, and what feels like they're going to take over boxing, let me pat you down a little bit, see if you got something on you. Let me attempt to speak some truth to power. But after I got that chip off my shoulder and I went to the weigh-in yesterday,
you were there.
I did realize the crazy energy that this fight does have, and it made me think like you're not gonna be able to put this genie back in the bottle. You know, this is coming. This is the new era, and you know, to people who would criticize, you know, why didn't you hold feet to the fire as much when it was Heyman and Arum and Oscar and those guys are still going to be around, putting on fights. But it feels like, and there's still a chance that they don't pass the Ali Act, and if they don't pass the Ali Act, that could change all of TKO's plans for even getting into boxing. But let's assume they do in some form or fashion in December when it's re-proposed. Man, I forgot where I was going with it, but they, forgive me for that, not forgive me for that at all, but you know, those guys were covered with criticism. Al Heyman, he was in court. The other promoters sued him. So many boxing scribes were deservedly very critical of him and what he did, and same thing with Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn. Nobody was speaking up to these people because they bought out much of the media. The media they didn't buy. You know, people are just trying to make a living, man, and feed their families and not be too risky. So I hope it's not just some, you know, grandstanding moment for me or nothing. I actually hope it leads to something good when in 3 months from now TKO has to re-propose the Ali Act. Hopefully it just put people on notice, and you know, this could be a good marriage. TKO has the resources and everything to take boxing into the the modern era, but one thing that makes boxing beautiful, and the reason why, like I told Dana at the podium, the top 5 gates in combat sports history are still all boxing, and they all came in the last 10 years. I'm not going back to the glory days of Sugar Ray Leonard and Mike. I'm saying even with the sport as fucked up as it's been, it finds a way somehow to outperform every now and then at the highest level, even UFC with its machine behind it.
And Dana should know this because last September with Canelo, Berlanga, and then O'Malley, Marab, those tickets, and then they were dropping as the fight came closer to the date, and he just couldn't compete with Canelo. So I knew this was coming because he would want to be on the money side of it this year to make more, and he's basically trying to monopolize everything under his roof.
Right. Well, ideally for them. Right. And I actually think the Malley fight, they may have outdrew Canelo and Berlanga because it was at the Sphere and they got to price the ticket so high. I think that's their highest gate. And it kind of comes with a gimmick attached. Like, it's not because the fight was so big, it's because it was the venue it was at.
Sphere, their first fight there. Same thing with the Legion. They got to pick these all big new venues to kind of, I guess, hype it up or build it up.
So I mean, I'll basically, my point I'm making is, boxing was, you know, on one pendulum too far this way. For them to just come in and institute the UFC model is just going to swing the pendulum to an opposite evil a little bit. And what makes boxing, contrary to the great Max Kellerman, what he said is, it's not a 3-letter conglomerate, UFC, NFL, NBA, MLB. It's different. It has a different vibe. It has a different soul. And that soul, if you can merge it with all the resources and stuff that TKO has, but hold on to that soul, then, you know, this might be good, you know? So we'll see.
What do you have to say to the people that are saying, because I posted that video on TikTok, so no one else covered it. A lot of people were saying it wasn't the time and the place. What do you have to say to them? As a journalist, what do you have to say?
Clearly it was. It was the #1 story on sports, right? Not boxing, not just sports. And I don't say that to be a douchebag, but if it wasn't the right moment, clearly the universe, the people said yes, it is, and as much as it was a question, it was a statement to the world that was watching. So I don't know.
Will you take Dana?
I'm biased. I think it was a good time.
No, me too. I was like, bro, no one else is asking about this, so what better time than when you have him up on the podium?
Yeah.
Do you think Dana really meant that offer of setting up an interview?
I think so.
Will you take him up on it?
Yeah. It's it's not easy. I never covered with these people before.
Yeah.
I don't got phone numbers, and I was a little shook after that happened. These are powerful people, so I left right after the press conference. I was there at the weigh-in the next day. I'll be at the fight tonight. But yeah, I would like to do the interview, which I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to.
To get the record straight and everything, yeah.
So, and just sit down as two professionals, two men, and try to, speak the truth to the people and find some good in the conversation. And, so.
Well, I look forward to that interview.
Yeah.
Once again, Sean Zittel, follow him on YouTube. You got Instagram. I don't believe you have a TikTok, do you?
I do, but I don't ever update it.
No.
But just join it anyways.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I posted that video on Instagram too, and I tagged you on it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. What's your name, man?
Lalo.
Lalo. Oh, thank you, bro.